Let's go to the phones. You calling from a 201 area code. Who's this? Where are you calling from?
Hey, what's up, Sam? It's Max from New York.
Hello, Max. What's on your mind?
Hey, so I'll make it quick 'cause I know there's a lot going on today, and you're not in a good mood. But this is something that's been on my mind for a while. Um, I so you are you familiar with like Joe Rogan, the Joe Rogan Experience?
I am familiar with Joe Rogan a little bit, his podcast, but he's one of those guys I used to play softball with back in Boston 25 years ago.
Oh shit, for real. So the guy gets about like 16. He gets like 16 million downloads a month,
Yeah, no, he's huge.
and yeah, can I just read you a quick list of names that he's had on his podcast?
I know they're huge names, and in fact, I tried to go on his show last time I was out in L.A. I probably should have tried to go through Marin, because I know he's sort of like. I mean, he's not the most unreasonable guy, but he strikes me as a guy who's sort of like quasi libertarian, not terribly, he's rather impressionable, the sense I get.
He's getting worse and worse.
I mean, he's launched. I don't know if launched is the right word, but like Steven Crowder, Milo, Gavin McGinnis, like all of those guys, their trajectory skyrocketed after they went on his show.
That does not
I
surprise
mean,
me.
he's also had on that Charles C. Johnson that did the Got News.
Yeah.
He's had Jordan Peterson on there. He's had Sargon, Sam Harris. Like, I just, why people think it's dumb, right? Because like he's a comedian, blah blah blah. But something that I've noticed in an election that was this close was like every little thing mattered.
Oh,
And like
definitely.
he had all through the election it was Hillary. She bumped her head, and she had he never said Parkinson's, but he talked about her health all the time. Like I just no one seems to talk about him. He seems to get like this blanket pass.
Yeah.
You can't find a lot of criticism online about him.
I think.
And what was that? I'm sorry.
No, I think part of the reason was for a period. So I used to listen to his show a bit more, and I just honestly it's very repetitive. So I kind of.
Yes.
But like it's all like kids are too sensitive at college, take DMT, and here's like a MMA or comedy thing. But with Sam Harris, he treats Sam Harris like a guru. But I think he got a little bit of space when he had people like Milo on, because he would usually devote part of those interviews to kind of holding them accountable on certain specific areas. So I think he sort of created some space for himself. In terms of, and then he would, and then he'd have on Abby Martin a lot and kind of like play both sides of that divide. But I think in the last year he's gotten
she hasn't been on
much
forever,
more
though.
solidly in the right, basically.
And
Yeah.
I'll tell you something. I'll tell you what the real problem is that we don't have anything like this on the left. We really don't. Like you don't the level of entrepreneurship that's involved in that, because these are people, all those people you mentioned, right? Before they go on these shows, they are basically unknown to media outside of like the YouTube world and the podcast world. Like, I can tell you that most academics, the genuine sort of thinkers, public intellectuals in this country, have no idea who Sam Harris is. They don't know him. He's done nothing that would attract the attention of serious academics. I can assure you this, and I'm not saying it as a way of shitting on Sam Harris. It's simply a fact. And
No, I get you.
like Noam Chomsky, apparently, like Harris, like desperately tried to debate Noam Chomsky to the point
that was
of
pathetic.
like hectoring him with these emails that Chomsky sort of like politely responded to.
Not so
And then
politely.
and then Harris, you know, was so desperate to be seen as an actual academic intellectual that he published the emails against the agreement he had with Chomsky, which is, you know, incredibly unethical in any of the realms in which he purports to function, Sam Harris. But that's why when I say he's a charlatan, that's another example of how much of a charlatan he is. He's so desperate for celebrity. And so they go on all of each other's shows as a way of promoting each other. And you see some of that like in the comedy world, but the stakes are much different and much less, right? I mean, it's all about marketing on some level in the comedy world, and that's fine. But that's what it's really about on the right. They do it very well. And and that's what's going on there, so that they bring their audiences to him, and he brings their audience to he ports his audience to them, and that's
But he
the
has
way
a
it happens.
huge audience.
He
That's-
has a huge
that's the
audience,
concern.
indeed. Yeah.
And could I just say one last thing about it is that, you know, he hawks bullshit supplements. Like if you look at like nootropics and that company that he has a stake in on it, like all of that stuff, when you actually look at it, it's bullshit. And that's bad enough, but then he has on these people that purport to be doctors. I mean, he had one woman on last month that literally, I'm telling you, I listened to all 3 hours. She said, and I'm not making this up, you can go check, that you can substitute antipsychotic medications with exercise. And and zero pushback by him. And then he has all these other quote-unquote dietitians that push this paleo shit. Like, you can go on a paleo diet and die if you're not listening to your doctors and whatnot. So I just think, like, with his huge audience, like, it's very, very dangerous. And, like, again, no sticks to him at all.
But I think that's
At
part of
all.
the reason he's
No
Now,
one
wait a
popular.
second.
is calling him out.
What you need, it seems to me, is just being a little bit more tenacious with this. And we actually have a wonderful product that we wanted to introduce to you. I'm holding here in my hand. It is a turmeric-based product, but has been turmeric.
Sure, let's do that.
It's a turmeric-based product, which I don't know what to tell you, man. I mean,
No, but I do think
we need some version of that.
But I
on,
think-
on the left.
But I think
for
part
sure.
of the reason he gets people in is actually because of those types of shows. I mean, people are interested in the entertainment world and in, I mean, for lack of a better word, like self-help. I mean, that's
Yep.
how he built a community, right?
Yeah.
So he could be using it for
That's how he started.
terrible purposes, but that might be another thing that like people in left like maybe there needs to be a smart
I gotta start working out, and then
well,
then
no,
we're gonna
seriously,
see this
like
show
maybe
change
people
a
who
little
do
bit.
shows like this need to start, taking on a bit of a wider range of subjects, because I think that's why he has that audience loyalty. And then the other thing is that it's the Dave Rubin principle. I mean, doing those shows on like some dumb college campus controversy is the easiest, no prep.
It also, to be
it's
honest with
just-
you, it helps to be in LA. I mean, it helps to be in
Yeah.
LA.
Sure.
You're just gonna get a different sort of level of access to celebrities. I
Right.
mean, our Fridays here would be very different if we were in LA doing a show at noon, LA time.
Come to my place. Let's sell supplements.
We'll talk to you later. Appreciate the call.
We'd all have
Thank you.
teeth whitening jobs.
No shit. I got to get on that, actually. Hi, folks. Sam Seder here. We still need your help on our Patreon page. YouTube ads have come back, but not nearly as much as we had before. So if you can help us out, any little bit helps. Head over to our Patreon page right at this URL, and you'll help us keep helping you by making videos